I was like, hey, how long are you in town for the festival? He said, we leave on Saturday. It's a week-long festival. I said, we aren't working Wednesday during the day if you wanted to, like, chat.
Oh. Okay.
To which he responds, are you hitting on me?
Oh.
Well, I'm just saying. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you all out to a musical extravaganza called the Night and Day Project. Please save your applause. I do it because I love living. You don't hear me, though.
Now, first, we're going to get real candid. You guys are going to be able to ask some questions as well. But first, I want to start it off with Codie and Tommy, the creators of this show. How did it all come about? And how did you all meet?
Ooh, okay. That's two big questions. How did it come about? Okay, I'll start with the other one. So we met at a film festival. We met at the Toronto Film Festival in 2013. I mean, fast forward.
Own it.
I hit on him.
Oh.
He loves for me to share that part. But I did. And, we met under professional circumstances, so I kind of just made my presence known first by just, being all it is, right?
Yeah.
And he was not paying me any attention at all. What? And so I gave him my card. And said, when you come to LA, let me know if you're interested in talking about the equipment. I was working for Canon, the camera company that provided all of the equipment for this show. And still, he was just like, okay, cool. He was just giving me nothing, right? And so I was like, hey, how long are you in town for the festival? He said, we leave on Saturday. It's a week-long festival. I said, we leave Wednesday night, and we aren't working Wednesday during the day if you wanted to, chat.
Oh. Okay.
To which he responds, are you hitting on me?
Oh.
To which I respond, I don't know. Because no, I don't have game like that. So yeah, that's how we met. We ended up talking that night until 5 a.m, and the next day till 3 a.m, and then hanging out on Wednesday.
Nice. And then I got back to LA the next week, and then we hung out that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wow. And at that point, I called 5 people and said, unless something goes terribly wrong, I am marrying this woman.
Oh.
Cut to 6 months later at my 30th birthday party, rooftop of the Hotel Wilshire with 120 people there. I proposed to her.
And so to answer your other question, clearly we moved very quickly. We got engaged after 6 months.
Wow.
After 3 months, we were living together. And so probably around 3 months, maybe sooner, I brought up the idea for this. It was something that had been weighing on me. The media was suggesting there was a black marriage crisis, and going so far as to say black women are the least desirable of all women. And
bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. And to me, it was something that the damage was done in terms of, once that's said in the media, you feel like, oh, shoot, well, what's the point, right? The stats say, but I felt like the Obamas were celebrated for being this loving, beautiful black couple. We just need to see it more, right? So I mentioned it to him. He loved the idea immediately, was like, let's do it.
So see it in another form other than love and hip hop.
Correct.
Yeah, a real relationship.
And basketball non-wives.
Right.
Are any of them married? Any of them? Not to judge those shows, they're just not they're not really showing healthy relationships, right?
There's room for more.
Right.
So how did you get the couples to actually get involved with the show? I mean, we're on season 2.
We just showed up at their houses, didn't we?
Yeah, you did.
Yes. We were like, hey, come in.
We went to friends first, whether it was friends who ended up on the show or friends who suggested people. What mattered to us was that couples were together at least 10 years, so they had some experiences to draw on, and that somebody was saying, I look up to these people. They're making it work some kind of way. Or in some cases, they write a book, and you're like, oh, they've been through some things, and they actually are sharing their story. These are people who care to share what they've been through and what they learned to help other people. And so that's really the spirit of the whole thing. And so that was kind of the gist.
And I'm assuming that the show is not just for people who are married, married. It's for singles that can watch and learn and, take different
And married people got a lot. We all learning.
Right.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
But the hope for sure was that anyone could watch this and see themselves in it and learn something.
But also there's so much about marriage that you just don't know, that I didn't know going into it. And so to be able to listen to people who had been through so much more than I had, and who had, made it 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, for me, that was invaluable. And so a lot of this was for other people, but it was also for us. It was we started this when we were engaged. And so we've been doing this 3/4 of the time we've been together. And so we started as an engaged couple, and then newlyweds, and then a couple with a kid, and sort of now we're sort of moving on beyond that. But it's just sort of being able to understand from people who have been there before, and as a single person, getting an understanding for what it actually takes. Because marriage is hard as shit.
Yeah.
Like, it really is, but we just don't know that because, you know, you see, you don't know the detail.
Right.
You understand. Like most of what we understand marriage to be comes from a poorly rendered version on TV or in film or in social media where we see the highlights and the lowlights. We don't actually see as Viola said before, the everyday, you know, sort of the nitty gritty, sort of all of it. And so for me, being able to see that and hear from people made a giant difference.
It was kind of weird. It was, I started, okay.
He was dating a friend of mine.
Was dating a friend. Hold on, time out. Wait a second. Hold on.